I'm here with Dejan Savic. Dejan is located at Galway, Ireland. Dejan is the Scrum Master serving 3 teams in a big, complex on-premise product. Dejan, thank you for joining us today.
Hi, Erez.
Hi. So then you told me about the fact that those teams are really used to work fully co-located in the office in Galway, and suddenly it moved you to the really extreme, everyone in working from home distributed. Can you tell us a bit, about the challenge and how you've tackled that and helped the team tackle that?
Yes. I think I mentioned this before. This whole thing kind of started as kind of a extension of work from home. I think everybody thought at the beginning, it's going to be fine, it's going to work as it did before. But then after a few weeks, you realize that it's a very different way of working. It took us a bit by surprise, how things changed. In our industry, I think people are used to work from home, but not all the time. And most of people, not all the time, especially in the Scrum or Agile environment, you want people to kind of work together in the teams.
Right.
And it's very important, those little things you do not recognize or not recognize enough, these water cooler talks, coffee talks, lunch talks, where people exchange ideas and statuses even of the, product release and, all sorts of things. Communication is going on constantly. So that's a little bit displaced at the moment, and people want to have more of this communication. Unfortunately, with the phones and conferences, that's a little bit different. So I think the main point I would bring across is, as a Scrum Master especially, and probably this goes into managers and any sort of leaders, is listening is the key, and trying to identify these cravings for communication from team, and try to tweak the processes, put a little bit of more of the human touch, which we're missing at the moment, into meetings. Try to react as quickly as you can, around impediments. You want to kind of tackle them very quickly, because people are outside of the office. There's no walking to Joe's desk and saying, "Can you fix this for us?" So you have to kind of be very quick, and what you want to do is to know that, for people to know that you are there for them.
Yeah.
I think it's this time around, I think that's more important than ever. So, message for everybody: really listen and react quickly, and be more human than you are. It's not that easy, but you try to do that.
Definitely. Yes. As you said, the Scrum Master role is becoming much more important now that people are distributed, to really sense the team, help them be a team, because they're not used to this new condition, help them do this transition. Great insights, Savi. Thank you very much for sharing with us.
You're most welcome, Erez. Bye.
Bye. Hi, everyone. I'm here with Matthias. Matthias is a Scrum Master serving 2 teams at Buenos Aires, Argentina. Matthias, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So, Matthias, how did this COVID-19 situation captured you and the teams, and, from remote working perspective?
Well, it's an interesting question, because COVID-19 had no impact on this team. They were already working almost entirely remote, and all their Agile practices were serving this reality, which we are all talking about, the new reality, right? Scrum ceremonies, communication tools, everything was up to this challenge. I assume there's also a cultural thing, as here in Argentina, most of IT workers are used to do home office 2 or 3 times a week, or even more.
Okay, so that's interesting. So the disadvantage that you had with this remote working on usual business days really became an advantage. So based on your experience, since you're doing that so long, what is the most challenging event to adopt in this remote working?
In my experience, I think it was retrospective. Yeah, it's one of those meetings where you need everyone to interact. So with this new situation, it's kind of challenging. At the same time, it's one of the most important ceremonies in Scrum, because it gives you the chance to improve, right? But I guess that we can address that with just simple changes, First of all, we need to pick up a dynamic, that could be handled via video conference and a proper online tool for it. There's tons of them in internet, such as collaborative online board, one other thing would be sharing that prior to the meeting with the entire team. During the meeting, encourage the team to have their cameras on. That's very, very important, And once the meeting is done, make sure to put the action items, someplace that is accessible by the entire team. On top of that, keep it simple, short, and efficient.
Wow, great insights and step-by-step instructions on how to do best practice for retros from remote. So thank you very much, Matthias. Thank you for joining us.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. I have here with me Tamar Goldschmidt from Avaya Israel. Tamar is serving as the PO of one of the teams. Tamar, thank you for joining us. Thank you for having me. So Tamar, due to COVID-19, the company changed its strategy a bit and moved the team that you are serving from one product to a different product. How did you and the team handle that situation?
Well, moving to a new project is always challenging, even if it's not under those circumstances. But I think the fact that the team was very mature and very self-organized really helped with this process. They know very good all the practices of Agile, and we didn't spend a lot of time on learning the new project. We spent the minimum time that we have in order to start working and get into it in the iteration of sprints. So, for example, the first sprint, we had the ramp up, also part of the second sprint, but we had the goal to start working on the product from the second sprint and give a value. So, and the velocity even got higher in the third sprint. So we got into the new project very fast.
Amazing. So already a second sprint in a new product, new technology, the team delivered value.
Yes.
Great insight. So as you as the PO, when you move to this remote working mode, what would be the most challenging thing for you in that aspect?
I think for me as a PO, the most challenging thing was the refinement meeting. This is a meeting where you start breaking stories into slices, and it has a lot of brainstorming inside. So sometimes it's a bit difficult to do it when everybody are from remote. It's easier when everybody is in the office. And also when you have, if you want to have a head-off meeting for that, something needs to be more sliced, then you can't just gather everybody and say, okay, let's go to a room and sit on this. You need to start checking which one, when is everybody available. So it makes it a little bit harder.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, refinement definitely. So if you would have to give one tip to our audience on that refinement meeting, what would it be?
And I think my tip would be to spend the time, invest time in teaching these skills of slicing and sizing to the team. It would make the refinement meeting shorter, and it would be easier for the team to do this work of slicing and sizing faster than they're doing it now.
Great insight, Tamar. Thank you for sharing this out. Thank you for. Okay, hello everyone. I'm here with Gilad Levy. Gilad is a PO from Avaya Israel. Gilad, thank you for joining us. So Gilad, you're serving the team, a very mature team at Avaya. How did the situation of moving to remote working, coach you and the team?
I think the team is really mature, and it haven't influenced a lot. They adapt very well to the situation very fast, and keep working as before. But what we have noticed is that there is a huge change at the customer needs, because all our customers started to work differently from remote and give more attention to.
So COVID-19 really changed something in the market, and our customers at Avaya changed their request as compared to usual business day.
Yes.
So how did you handle that situation? Changes coming now suddenly from the customers.
So the changes were in the areas of security and load and capacity and such, a lot of requirements. And we have just changed our medium-term plans. Since we are working at Agile, at Scrum, we can, end the iteration, and next iteration we can fit already to new requirements. So we take all the stakeholders and do this shift and reflect it very quick to the team to work on the new requirements. And we also engage more with customers through the sales and the PLM to get their feedback even before the feature is done, to get a sense of if this is the right direction for them.
Okay, great customer engagement strategy. So if there would be one tip to give to our audience as a PO, what would it be?
I think we just need to not afraid of challenges and take it as opportunity, see what we can get it from. And I think after all, the Agile and Scrum is all about satisfy customer, and we have to listen to our customer needs and shift our plans and give value very fast.
Great insights. So it's really COVID-19 lets you and the team leverage this as an opportunity instead of looking that as a challenge. Thank you very much, Gilad, for being with us today. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm here today with Afid Levy. Afid Levy is a Scrum Master serving one of the team at Avaya Israel. Afid, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me.
So in this COVID-19 situation, you suddenly found yourself and the team all working remotely. How did you handle that situation?
Yes, it was unexpected. And what we did as a Scrum team was maintaining the Agile ceremony. We worked very hard as a team to build a framework that will hold all the Agile ceremony, the daily, the planning, the demo, the retro, all of them. And we wanted to keep it, to maintain this way of work. So what we did was we transfer all the meeting to a virtual meeting. And this allow us to keep on the ceremony without any extra effort. We found out that some of the meetings are scheduled in a time which is no longer convenient to us. So we raised it a day, we talked about it as a team, and we changed the time that it's scheduled to. But we didn't lose the meeting, we didn't avoid the meeting. And
did you have to change some meetings in that framework due to this remote working?
Actually, as we did, we had one sprint that we knew that the planning is going to be a very long planning because we added a new feature to the project, and we had to slice the feature into small stories to give them story points. So what we did was we split the planning meeting into 3 short meetings. The first one was about slicing the feature into very short stories. The second meeting was giving story points to those small stories we already sliced. And the third meeting was the easiest one. It was the planning. We just had to pick up from the backlog the stories and put in the new sprint to come.
Great, so really adjusted to what you need as a self-organizing team. And besides those formal ceremonies in this framework, did you add anything else on top of that?
Actually, we did. It's a fun thing that was added. It was introduced to us by you, Erez, and thank you for that. What we have today is a 10-minute coffee break meeting that we are having every morning, 10 a.m. All the team, all the Scrum team, join into the same meeting to talk about everything except work. It replaces the small talks we used to have at the office. It gives us a great feeling of we are still a family, we still work together.
Great insight. So maintain the framework. If you need to do adjustment, do it as a team, do some informal meeting. Great insights, Afid. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.